Ah. Hi, Dr. Cinema. I analyze and diagnose movies, extend them to you. Sorry about what just happened, but the video that I uploaded before this, my play-by-play review of Halloween 2, 2009, it ended with me pretty much getting attacked by the next, what was supposed to be this next video. My attempt at a joke, it does not work at all. So, I'm just going to get right into it. Friday the 13th. Now, as you know, Friday the 13th is that other very famous horror movie franchise, specifically the slasher subgenre. And like Halloween, it was so popular that once the 21st century came around, they decided to remake it as well back in 2009. Now, remaking the original Friday the 13th is different from remaking Halloween, because with the original Friday the 13th, Jason didn't kill anyone. It was actually his mother, Pamela, that was actually the real serial killer of that first movie. But of course, it was so popular that the sequel, starting with like the second one, focused on Jason coming back from the dead and being that character that we all know and love. But it really wasn't until like the third or fourth when he officially donned the hockey mask and the machete that he became the icon we all know and love today. So it'll be interesting to see how this remake approaches this franchise. Without further delay, let's get right into it. The remake starts off with a flashback to 1980, where we see Pamela Voorhees chasing after this girl because she blames this girl for the death of her son, even though she wasn't actually there when Jason was at the summer camp when he died. Okay, maybe a little bit more backstory. Before the very original Friday the 13th took place, Jason Voorhees was, I don't know, I want to say roughly 10 years old or something. It was in the 1950s, and he was in summer camp. He was physically deformed and got bullied, and the kids chased him off a dock, and he drowned, and the camp counselors supposed to be on duty were busy making whoopee with each other. So in the original movie, Pamela Voorhees comes back and kills the other counselors that are trained to reopen the camp. Of course, in this 2009 remake, starts off with the flashback of Pamela Voorhees going 100 murder speed near the end where her head gets chopped off by the last surviving girl. And of course, this flashback was in 1980, so it appears that the timelines match up well enough. But we then go back to our present day of when this 2009 remake takes place. We got a bunch of teenagers, they're out hiking, camping. Let's see, it's 3 guys and 2 girls. So they're hiking, like, sort of near the Crystal Lake area, and they decide to camp for the night. Of course, a couple of them having sex, and the other 2 are looking for why they're really there, looking for this batch of weed that's been planted. And so they find, one of the guys finds it. There's some noise and stuff. It disrupts the other people, and Jason Voorhees just comes in, slashing, killing right away, and he kills all of them except for one girl named Whitney. Like, that whole scene, like, he's about to slash her, but then it kind of like stops right there. We find out that this isn't exactly present day, because we cut to 6 weeks later, where a different group of people, including Trent, his girlfriend Jenna, and Chelsea, Bree, Chewie, Nolan, and Lawrence, they're going on their way up to visit Trent's cabin, and of course along the way they stop to get some alcohol and such. And actually at this little gas station convenience store area we have, holy crap! The character Clay Miller is played by Jared Padalecki. Jared Padalecki of This TV show, Supernatural. This remake just got a whole lot interesting. I wonder if Dean and Cassiel come in. But yeah, anyway. Sorry. Love the show Supernatural. Anyway, so Jared Padalecki, who's playing the character Clay Miller, is asking the convenience store guy if he has seen his sister, who turns out to be Whitney, of like that from 6 weeks earlier, where she disappeared in the Camp Crystal Lake area. And of course, and he kind of like bumps into like Trent, and Trent's sort of like an asshole, like a like he's like me, like, dude, what the fuck you doing, man? And she's like, dude, he's looking for his lost sister. Calm the fuck down. And of course, this is where Jenna starts to take a little pity because her boyfriend's being an asshole to this guy. So they kind of part ways, and Trent and Jenna and their group go up to Trent's cabin to do some beer pong, hang out, get high, that sort of stuff. And of course, while they're out doing their thing, Clay Miller continues his search looking for Whitney, of course. Because of this little scene, there's like guy just at his cabin by himself, where Jason sort of like comes up and attacks him in the attic, and that's where he sort of finds the hockey mask, decides to take off the bag he's using to cover his face, puts on the hockey mask on. That seems just kind of random to do, but gotta get that hockey mask on somehow. I'll take it. Then we come back again. Clay Miller is still passing out the flyers, looking for his sister. Goes up to what is Trent's cabin, and of course they come face to face again. And Trent's still being an asshole. Like, come on, he's looking for his lost sister. What the fuck's your problem, man? And of course, Jenna sort of like intervenes, like, yo, stop doing this to this guy. Can't you see what he's doing? And so she, in a way of sort of like making up for that little incident, Jenna agrees to help Clay look for her sister around the area. And of course, while this is going on, the rest of Trent and his people are in the cabin. Jason decides to, kill them. And so power gets cut off, and well, before the power cuts off, Jason kills two of them while they're out on the lake, just doing some wakeboarding stuff, and Jason just sort of kills them, and the rest of them get inside, and sort of like just wait there. Meanwhile, Jenna and Clay are still like searching around, but they sort of like duck behind like these bushes and stuff as they see Jason dragging back the bodies of the people he just killed back to the Crystal Lake campground, which apparently is still closed. Now, this is a little bit different from the original, because in the original Friday the 13th, it was focused on a group of people who are going to be trained to be counselors for the newly reopened Camp Crystal Lake after the drowning of Jason Voorhees in the 50s. But now it seems like it's still closed down. That's probably a more realistic approach of probably how things would happen. I think. It's definitely different. I just don't know if it's better or if it's worse, if it makes sense or not, but hey, it works for Jason because it's like his home territory now. So anyway, they see Jason hauling a body into like one of the abandoned camp houses, and he goes into like this little underground place where he's been like living and such, and you see that Whitney's still alive and he's kept her around. And based on some visual clues and such, it looks like the reason he's kept her alive and with him is because she sort of physically reminds him of his mother, who he did love a lot. I mean, his mother decided to take revenge against a group of teenagers, so yeah, they had a pretty strong connection, I guess, when he was alive, so of course he loves her. But anyway, so Jenna and Clay, they run back to the cabin to warn them about Jason, and that's when Jason sort of sneaks into like one of the like outer houses near the cabin, cuts off the electricity to the cabin. And one of the guys tried to go down and check to see what's up with that, and that's where one of them gets killed. And of course, and then Jason eventually managed to break into the cabin and starts attacking them. But of course, Trent, Clay, and Jenna managed to escape Jason's invasion to the house and go off into the woods area. And Jason, of course, chases them. They all end up back at the Crystal Lake campground. And this is where they discover Jason's lair, and they get underground and they find out that that's Whitney is. And of course, it's pretty heartful union, and they try to get her out of there, while Jason is coming down to try to find them and capture them himself. And unfortunately, though, Jenna, of course, gets killed, which is a little bit of I don't know, is it a twist? Well, we'll come back to that in a little bit. They they'll do the chase, and Jason corners Clay and Whitney in this little abandoned barn area, and so Whitney actually confuses Jason by pretending to be Jason's mother, and of course, since technically Jason is a resurrected, still technically dead, I guess, kind of guy who still managed to age into this full body, of course, mind tricks confuses him. And this allows Whitney, pretending to be Pamela, Jason's mom, to get close enough to Jason where she grabs his machete and then stabs him through it with his own weapon. And of course, so Clay decides to take the body of Jason, dumps it back into the lake. But of course, nothing is ever that simple, and so Jason reaches up through the wooden docks and grabs Whitney, does the whole fight stuff. And of course, battle. And my memory's still a little bit phased. I'm trying to wonder if they actually did survive, or he actually ends up going through and killing them. Sorry, I have watched this movie, but it's been a while. Lots. Come on. Come on, people. Alright, yeah. So despite, Jason breaking through the wooden dock and grabbing Whitney, they still manage to fight him off. Or at least I think they do. Either way, even though despite the fact that I still can't quite remember what happens right at the end, it either A, ends with both Clay and Whitney surviving the whole Jason attacking them, or B, manages to kill one or both of them. But yeah, that's pretty much the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. Sorry, couldn't quite remember what happens at the end. But to be honest, it's still a solid remake, actually. I mean, sure, it has a lot of predictable stuff, but it's not annoyingly predictable. I mean, it gives us exactly what we want, but it doesn't really try to be anything new or genre breaking. Just knows exactly what it is. It's a slasher movie that happens to be a remake of the Friday the 13th film. So it just sort of does what it does best, just be a slasher movie. And while that isn't exactly scary and it's not really again nothing groundbreaking, it's still a fun movie. Well, not really fun, but I didn't mind watching it. I will definitely watch it again. I mean, it has Jared Padalecki. How can you not? Come on, if you're not a Supernatural fan, watch the show. So yeah, Friday the 13th movie convinces people to watch Supernatural. That's my take on it. But if I had to pick a slasher remake to watch, it would be Friday the 13th. Well, that is my review of it, and I suppose I should finish off this unholy trinity by doing a review of the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 remake. Probably either get up either later today or sometime tomorrow. But either way, you wouldn't. I don't think you'd regret watching it. So this is Dr. Cinema. Like, comment, subscribe, share. See you next time.